we scaffold learning as instructors, the quality of students' work improves and the content retention for students improves. And so I want them to remember and be able to apply and use what they're learning in my courses, and I want them to do it at a high level of mastery. I had Dolly 3 generate this, another AI tool, generate this image for me to try and give a picture in my mind of what scaffolding is. So if you think of knowledge, books being knowledge, and like a tree of life or like a tree of knowledge, the scaffolding is the structure that's around it as an instructor. It's the things that we're doing to help our students stay on task and build up. For example, if I assign a 10-page paper, that's really overwhelming to a lot of learners. But if I assign a lot of mini parts to that paper, it's much more manageable, and it also really enhances students behaving in ethical ways because they're not getting overwhelmed. They're much less likely to cheat. So let me give you some examples. And the way that I set mine up, I gave you an example of what I'm doing in my class, and then how I would use AI to assist. So one of the things that I do in my classes is I give pre-tests on the course as a whole, and then also as unit content, especially as we are building a starting place for learning. Now let me be honest, every semester each of my classes are in different places, so I'm having to rewrite pre-tests every single time, and it takes a lot of time. So I have really leaned into doing pre-tests that are fun, like Kahoot. And I'm sure a lot of you use Kahoot already to do quizzing and prepare for midterms and that kind of thing. But you may not realize that Kahoot has an AI feature, so I can actually upload documents into Kahoot and it will create all the questions and the answers for me. That saves me a tremendous amount of time if I just finish something and want to do a pretest on the next unit. I can also send this Kahoot out before class, that before class learning, and then I have all the data. How much does my class know as a whole? And I can even look at individual students. How much do they know? How am I building on this next set of knowledge? So this is a great way to let AI take some of the burden of the work off your shoulders. Here's a second strategy. When my students come in, they're learning how to annotate their chapters. They're learning how to discuss key concepts. They're learning how to try and figure out what's important in this chapter. And in my analogy, we might do the first chapter together. Or I may use something like my textbook in MindTap. And then I can leave my students Post-it notes, or I can highlight things for them. And then the next day, I'll have them do it together in class, and I'll give them some